Last time we played Parasite Eve was before I started using the how long to beat timer in the corner. It was longer than a year and a half ago. I think it was D-Rock sub-block last time. This time it's Schrodinger, though, and I'm excited to play it some more. This was a game that I think I mentioned last session. I rented it once as a kid and maybe got a little ways into it. I certainly didn't get more than an hour in. But it's kind of a cool, like, turn-based RPG horror game from Square. X is confirmed, right? I need to swap memory cards again. Hold on. Try that. Try it again. Let's try Andrea, maybe? Actually, it could be Marstead. This is the only way for them to emulate it on the PS1. Not that one either. Did I put it under Andrea? That seems crazy. She may have just been the one that was in there if we were playing another game there. It was on Andrea. What do you know? Huh. I didn't realize Parasite Eve 2 was not turn-based. Interesting. That sounds interesting. Okay, so we got back from this weird paranormal event that happened at the theater at the beginning of the game. I've got some cool magic powers that I can use. This game's also very pretty. Even though it's not that late in the PS1's life cycle, right? Like, Vagrant Story came out way after this one. I guess it looks pretty close to FF8, and if I recall, did it have an FF8 demo that came with it? I feel like I remember thinking about this game in relationship to Final Fantasy VIII, but I don't remember why. Still has those really pretty PS1 era pre-rendered backgrounds. Come back later. Okay, Baker. That's probably why I played it then. Probably got it for the FF8 demo. It's the one that ended with the robot spider. We were playing with my friend at the time. Brave Fencer Musashi had a demo with it as well. Or was it Self as Square demo game? Vest. Sweet. Inventory's full. Shit, I don't think I have a place to bank inventory in this game, do I? Oh, interesting. You have to use the analog stick to go through your inventory. That is mostly an upgrade. Kevlar vest seems, well, P-Energy seems pretty good. What's that, Johan? I had Leviathan just to show off how cool Leviathan looked. Parasite Heave. Pretty good. Womp womp. Okay, well I can't do it right now. That's what I needed to know then, I guess. I could throw out one of these items, maybe. Can I stack these? Like I should be able to. Huh. Well, I've got 3 of them. I can afford to get rid of one for whatever's in that other locker. Pretty good reply there, sir. Medicine 2. Last, it's mine. On your vest, can't be too careful. On it. Yeah, it sounds like that's part of the problem of games from this era where It's the thing that Earthbound was able to handle by totally changing the font engine, because you can fit so much more into a single Japanese character than you can get in a equivalent number of characters in an English localization, so you can't tell what anything stands for in the gear and the spell names. They have to abbreviate everything. High defense, strong against SA, whatever that is. Yo. Weapons department, you didn't hit your head last night, did you? It's right downstairs. Thanks. Case to have on Christmas. Normal and Kevlar. Okay, cool, thanks. Monster Hunter, the element of weapon is a single kanji. It's a big problem, man. Like, that Legends localization book kind of talks about it. It's really interesting. Exchange items. I see. So now the potion I put in there will be in there forever. See if I can use the thing I just picked up. Moves, equipped parameter, or effect. Earthbound, they went to great lengths to recode everything in the game in order to get rid of the fixed width font. Very, very laborious process, but it's why so many of the enemies in Earthbound and item names are really long and colorful. Like New Age Retro Hippie, that would not fit in a typical JRPG localization. Okay, some more medicine. Yo. Patronize me. Cut the crap, Wayne. That Baldy? Who knows? Shotgun? Rocket launcher? The reason why guns won't disappear from this country. That Japanese social commentary. I need some equipment. Honest cops rely on guns, criminals will too. It's a vicious cycle. Do you get any, like, spiritual weapons? Yeah, I remember following it too, Spiky. Mostly Tomato and Raid. It's a really cool problem to think about, especially in video games. Now I can leave stuff behind. Okay. Shoot bonus points. The right side is my storage, the left side is what's actually in my inventory, presumably. I forget, do I want to keep a melee weapon on me when possible? Does it really matter? Handgun. Oh, I want to use one or the other. Oh, does it not let me deposit it? Because I have limited space, or because it requires that I have a melee weapon? Probably one of those. Bonus points. I feel like the 1911A1 is just a flat upgrade over the M84F, so there's no reason to be carrying both of them. That makes sense. That's what I originally thought was happening there. How powerful gun I allow you to have? M16. Notified me, show me your modification power. So I can mod either this one or the M16. 60. Yeah, that seems pretty great. Uses different kind of bullets, maybe. Hey, Schrodinger. Well underway. I mean, I'm talking to my first NPC. 11 minutes in. Cops own guns for protection. Don't let the guns own you. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Use your tool to tune up guns. Rearrange equipment parameters and added effects to tweak your equipment. Sure, let's do that. Using the tool item, you can add or remove parameters and added effects on your weapon or armor to create customized equipment. If you remove an added effect from weapon or armor, that equipment will disappear. The number of added effects that can be attached to a piece of equipment to determine the number of slots. The number of slots of getting your equipment modified at the NYPD weapons department. Okay, cool. Always have your club in case you run out of bullets. Gotcha. Store some crap. Don't need all these medicines. Probably don't need the theater key or the rehearsal key. Maybe I'm going back there. I guess I can always come back and get them later. Where's life when you die? I'll put it on the two of those. Is there any way to know whether you need to continue to hold on to key items or not? It's interesting that they make you use them instead of just giving you a separate infinite inventory for key items like a lot of RPGs do. Okay. Tune up. So what am I spending? I'm clearly using some kind of resource to do this, right? Is it the tool that's being consumed? Wait, clearly misunderstanding something here. Okay, is what it's saying is I'm moving a parameter from the gun on the left to the gun on the right, I think is what's happening. Alright, hold on. So I could get my other gun out of storage and make some use out of it. So I'm picking the gun that I want to destroy. Okay. This will add +2 attack. But if I'm reading this right, isn't this saying that the parameters on the gun on the left are actually worse than the parameters on the gun on the right, or is it going to combine the two? So this will become 15 plus 5. And like here, the rate of fire is worse than the rate of fire on the M19, so I assume if I transfer that, it's going to make this one worse. Or is it an additive effect rather than a replacement effect? So it's adding it into the existing parameters, not replacing it. Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you. High rate of fire is worse. Really? Okay, now it says +5, so it does combine them, doesn't replace them. Roger. Is that something that's meant to be understood automatically by a new player, or is that like a quirk of the game that doesn't really make any sense? No, I like to keep spaces open here, so it should be fine. Pretty pre-rendered backgrounds. Hey, I'm authorized personnel. I'm investigating a spooky ghost. We're a nice Christmas dinner. Oh, wow. That makes sense. I mean, is it actually a net DPS decrease, or is it just the fact that it's inconvenient to be locked into place attacking? I can see it making each shot worse, but is the damage per bullet worse? Damage per turn maybe is more appropriate. Ben? Daddy. Guy's super tall. This is Aya. What are you doing here? Being a creepy kid. Of course. Busy father trope. Dojima over here. Kid needs a mother. And my father too. I'll always be grateful for him. His mother's still alive. Interesting. Character development. Is there some other stat on a machine gun that independent from rate of fire? Like, it seems to me like rate of fire is what would define a machine gun. Or is it like the number of animation frames it takes for it to fire? It's dependent on the gun and not something that's included in its statistics. Only authorized personnel. I have no authority in this game. And them shooting at different speeds is not something that's captured anywhere in their statistics. Because I would expect that the word rate of fire, the stat rate of fire, would describe that, but it's a hidden attribute for each weapon, I guess. I guess at this point we just take the exit. I don't think we have to talk to anybody else. I guess I can talk to Baker. Sir? You burned down a multi-million-dollar theater. Your ass is on the line. I'm in the press conference now, and I want you there. Sole survivor of the incident. I see. I don't want to be a suspect. Seems to be the work of a terrorist. Spooky ghost terrorist. Opera Theater incident press conference. Counts of officers and firemen at the scene bursting into flames. A rarely highly flammable chemical. Swamp gas. Quick thinking and training as an officer. Whoa, Aya. Don't say that at a press conference. Come on. You're a smart protagonist. Why this evil spooky ghost lady? Uh-oh. Man, this trope is so it's taxing to me, fatiguing. In a story that has a supernatural element and a character gets in trouble for divulging it publicly. Like, it gets to the point where you just expect the characters to keep their mouths shut about it unless if they have objective proof. Who's gonna believe you? Some Japanese scientists. Reading about some Midas something. Mito? Is it mitochondria? Dun dun dun! The powerhouse is the cell. Some research in the museum wrote a new theory. Cool. I do like that almost all the conversations in this game are just in-engine. Alright, let's go. Meet me at the front. Okay, can do.
Read this really quick.
Really nice.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted
No
to
problem.
share.
Yeah, she's been sending me stuff too.
My mom sent me a really nice email.
It was really cute. Andrea's been having a rough time, and I posted in Discord yesterday that we were at the doctor to try to get her levels figured out, to get her medication adjusted because she's depressed. But my Discord announcement just said we're at the hospital getting some tests. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, and one of Andrea's coworkers who is privy to the Discord was like, "Oh, do you have exciting news?" Like, no. She wants to die. She doesn't want to make a person yet. Imagine the making a person thing doesn't go too well with the wanting to die thing. One day, maybe. There's a third game? I like to have as much of that be a surprise if possible, but if you can talk about an exclamation point hide, then you can discuss with the people in chat who've played Parasite Eve before. Third birthday? What did it come out for? A PhD and be working in a museum. Work in a museum with a PhD. Dr. Jones. He kind of works for a museum. How do you kiss the chief's butt? This is actually a really cool scene if you think about it. Driving down the street with the pre-rendered background, scrolling really fast and reflecting on the cop car. Yeah, that's not an uncommon thing. That was really impressive for the PS1. American Museum of Natural History. It's got a little chocobo on the front. Cute. Yeah. This is one of a few series that Square could always revive. It would be cool. World of Dinosaurs. Man, the first hour of this game was super action-packed, wasn't it? And it was a really crazy cutscene with the Opera House burning down. And then just like non-stop dungeon combat exploration. It was a really cool way to start the game. It looks like there's a little bit of a story focus here in hour 2, which is neat. I'm glad that the game starts on the action side and then slows down so you know what you're missing. Because that's more in the vein of the PS1 era and prior of JRPGs. It's creepy without any people. Yeah, that takes a lot of concerted effort back in a day when nobody knew what they were doing. This game came out a year after Final Fantasy VII. It's important to recognize any and all efforts at polish. Yeah. Thanks. Keeps weirding me out that I can't navigate the menu with the D-pad. I have to use the analog stick. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for not always having to start with a crazy action sequence, you know, Leon? Like, that's becoming more and more expected to the point that it's sort of nice to have the slow burn build-up. But I especially praise an action-oriented opening in a JRPG because they're becoming so bad at having 5 hours with nothing happening, you know? You can do the slow burn, but you probably want to try to hook the person in the first 10-15 minutes or so. I'm playing it on PS3. I don't know. Let's check it out. For sure. Oh, it's much worse than 4 hours in Kingdom Hearts. Especially Kingdom Hearts 2. Or Persona is a really just god-awful introduction to, I guess, a game that's mostly like that, though, so... Right, Yukiko. It's nice when they have a different opening. That's true. You gotta do the jobs, earn the money, get on the dope-ass Disney train, get to the fun part of the game. I know this, man. Oh, she get experimented on as a little girl? Maybe. My PD, huh? Mentioned that the mitochondria would be set free. We united people without laying a finger on them. She mentioned mitochondria. We were hoping you could supply us with some info. No idea what the true mitochondria is like. Do you? Or do you? Its own unique genetic code. Yeah, like a parasite Eve. That's an interesting way of describing this most fascinating creature. Mitochondria creates energy for us. It's the powerhouse of the cell. This game's like unobtainium science focus. Yeah, I didn't even notice the flickering CRT monitor Yukipo could call. They totally didn't need to do that. As soon as they had to render it separately from the pre-rendered background behind it. If all the mitochondria in the body began functioning at the same time, a tremendous amount of energy would be generated and released, melting a human into a puddle of fluid. Interesting. I wonder what the actual math is on that. Like, what's the energy potential of mitochondria? Is it actually able to cause people to spontaneously combust? If they're all active at the same time, whatever that means. And is a glob of flesh. See the signal to die. Apoptosis. Not at all a sinister goatee. Or facial structure. Mitochondria mutates 10 times faster than cells. Increased energy production associated with the aging process. You're not saying the mitochondria is doing all this consciously, right? Mitochondria mutate 10 times faster than normal cells. That's about they could evolve at a rate 10 times faster. It's no surprise they possess a power beyond recognition. Okay. Except the absurdity that is this mitochondria thing. And this premise is actually pretty cool. I have a lot of friends, especially in the science community, who have trouble getting past the buy of ridiculous fiction like this. But if you can accept it, live in this reality where this is...
further questions!
Right, you can vote. It's kind of a cool theme, though, that all these humans have been living for all this time with these, like, sapient, like, borderline alien creatures in their bodies. Once root of all humans can be traced to a single woman in Africa. Mitochondrial Eve. Yeah. Splendid name, just incredible. So I wonder if the premise for this game came from hearing about Mitochondrial Eve. What? It can't be someone who called themselves Eve? That's an unreasonable coincidence. Such an uncommon name. What the hell is going on here? God damn it. Yeah, right. Sunshine is the same, although Sunshine's like a legit, other than the science being ridiculous and unacceptable. Like, if you can get past that, the first 2/3 of that movie are really good. It's very, very strong science fiction space thriller, and then the last third is kind of stupid. Like, narratively stupid, not just science stupid. Whoa, that's a cool effect. Can't stand him. That quadruple ellipsis. Be right there. Got a break in the case. Nutty. Kicking this into turbo. Nicely done. I think that's what Omnicron was talking about, Schrodinger, that this is an unlicensed sequel or a licensed sequel to a novel, right? What's happened? About to find out. Okay, don't think I can get anything else in here, although the other cops are gone. Gotta get the key to the locker. That mirror actually has a reflection on it. Google mirrors in video games at some point. It's a really interesting study. Apparently it's really hard to do them for real. So usually you have to use fancy tricks to fake mirrors. Oh, Baker's not in here. Interesting. Try going downstairs. Guy looks like Dr. Cox. Emergency meeting in the conference room. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Save points typically conveyed with a red light. Or they're usually phones. Oops. Right, can't use the D-pad. That's nice. The guy's just wearing khaki pants. For a second there, I thought, is he wearing pants? Dre, not sure what you're responding to, but it might be to something in hide chat. If you type !hide before your message, it'll make sure that I can't see it. But you can discuss it with other people in chat who've played this game before. I'm trying to stay blind if possible. Alright, let's go. Start the meeting. Right, this is where we gave the press conference before. Melissa's solo concert was scheduled for today. She disappeared after last night's incident, and the concert was cancelled. People are still gathering at the stage. We must not let another massacre happen again. That seems like a bad idea. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Use put !hide before your message, and then the other people in chat who know about it can talk with you. But I won't see it. Nutty. Baker, my son's in danger. You should have known better. I hope nothing bad happens to his son. That would be dark. Like, who are you? Might actually be good for the story. Look at that power jog. Guess I'll go use the mod permit real quick. It's gonna give me those as the story progresses, I think. Although to do that, I'd have to sacrifice a gun. So I'll wait until I get another shitty gun to merge with it. Right, sir. If it's good for the story. So definitely making the fact that a child's in peril be an interesting dramatic event. The game is a pretty sweet soundtrack. It's interesting, I feel like if this game came out just a few years later, it probably would have been voice acted. The way the music kind of like goes down in volume during sequences like this. That's hurt. Central Park, alright, I was gonna ask. Ben! Bean! Yeah, pretty much. Oh no! Look before you leap, old timer. Don't worry, I don't have mitochondria. Or something. Man, that would have been pretty crazy if he just ran in there after his son and burned to death. Wow. Freaky. Another save point. Square done many games that are set in the real world? I guess World Ends With You is in Shibuya. I'm trying to think of what else they put out. Einhander may have been in the real, like the future of Earth, but I don't remember the setting in that one. I never played like the Bouncer or any of those games. Random battles. I like that it's on whatever section of the map that you're on. It's cool. This kind of reminds me of Vagrant Stories mechanics. Snakes! Auto reloads. Let me see. No, it's got poison. Whatever. Slows recharge. This is a cool combat system. Looks like they give you a decent number of bullets. You don't need to worry too much about conserving them. Because I got fewer ammo after beating that fight than I spent on it, so... Yeah, I figured I would keep the M19 for a while, but if the M16's always better, I can use that instead. Yeah, I saw that I got poisoned, thank you. The Bouncer's real world. But it's not like set in, you know, New York City or a real world location, right? Central Park Zoo. Oh, cool. Oh man, those blend in really well. M9. Cool. I do like the whole scrap and combine guns concept. It's cool. Oh wow, yeah, that's a pretty big damage difference. Much more efficient per bullet. Level up. Nice. And junk is just sellable, or does it have any purpose? Unfortunately, it takes up 2 slots. Jeez. Don't need that right now. Broken item. So I won't worry about it right now. I probably want to sort those by consumables first, right? Yeah. Tune-up has to be done outside of the zone, I think. Speed up active time, increase item capacity. Yeah, let's do that for days. Oh, if something's up in exclamation point hide, if you guys would mind whatever you're currently going on about, just move on. Thank you. Junk has a use, but it's not worth collecting now. Right, I'm pretty limited in my inventory space. I didn't realize I could pump it up. Like, what's the maximum possible inventory space? Oh no, someone else has been burned to death. Eve was here. Or someone just burned to death independently. I mean, I guess Occam's razor. Zuki. Cool. Light and very durable armor. I can't combine armors, right? It's just weapons that can be broken down and combined. Oh wow. Let's do that. Tool and armor. So you'd break down the old one? Hey, Omnicron, please don't step in on behalf of the mods, thank you. I'm sorry to hear that, Trey. I can't see what's going on in exclamation point hide to comment, but generally if a conversation's going on a little bit too long, I like to see people move on from it. It's not being very productive. Or take it to whisper. Right, because the PE gauge is displayed at the same point as your hit points. Your hit points are represented as a number, not as a color gauge. And I just automatically don't get to keep whatever other item that I got. Okay, the medicine. So I should probably make sure, since I don't get a chance to throw stuff out in combat, I should use that to heal now. And I guess because I can recover health using magic, medicine's probably less important for me to hold on to, because I can regenerate MP just by kind of walking around, right? Maybe it's nice for a free heal if I'm really low in combat, but I probably need to hold on to like one or two of them. I don't really need them to stay topped off between battles. Oh, you only regen P in battle? I didn't realize that. Okay. So you could potentially stall in combat if it's an enemy that doesn't have any ranged attacks by like running away from them? What do you mean by it eventually stops? Oh, that's interesting. To reload. So I haven't really had the clip size matter yet. Okay, and it lets me select specific items that I want. But if I hit N too fast, I leave stuff behind. Gotcha. Let me just open up some slots. Oh, I guess that's a story reveal. Okay. Let's do the snake first, since getting poisoned sucks. There has to be some reason why I stopped regenerating magic indefinitely. Be shocked if that's not connected to the plot in some way. It's cool though, I asked about it. All of the animals have escaped, she says, after having fought many of them. So I can't investigate that corpse. Oh, it's weird that they have it regenerate infinitely when you first get it, and then make it go away. I get that it probably shouldn't regenerate all the time for the whole game, but... Hey Calic, how you doing? There has to be some kind of story event that triggers that to change. Especially if it's like after a specific boss fight. We'll see. Hey, what's up, Eve? Holiday season brings joy to us all. We're tracking down Eve. She's at the Central Park concert. And Daniel's son is possibly in danger. People have burned to death out here, probably because of her. No longer be in control of the host, as I have since the dawn of time. Oh geez, I don't know what heroes challenges are. That wasn't a thing when I played it. Oh, gross. That's pretty gnarly. A little bit gnarlier than them bursting into flames. Wow. I like how that just kind of happens too. Not a lot of spooky build-up to it other than her being on stage. See you, Schrodinger. I have to get backstage and stop her. You think? But I don't want to walk over this gross human goo. Oh, so you're saying it only... So you're not saying it's going to be the next boss fight that you first see that it will run out forever and stop regenerating. Does it only regenerates over a certain number of turns at the start of combat? Okay. Why are you doing this? Okay, thank you. Oh, it's rough. In these situations, the less I know, the better. I really don't want to know anything, but I did directly ask about medicines not seeming or being worthwhile to throw out, since it seemed like I was able to heal indefinitely in random battles at least. That's shenanigans right there. Because you can see it from one perspective but not the other. For a second there I thought they were punishing me for not chasing her fast enough. Whoa, that thing's pretty gross looking. Zombie polar bear. Mitochondrial zombie. That has electric magic. Fantastic. Sweet. Level up. Nice. If I ask directly, though, sometimes I'll give an apostrophe to the audience and just speculate out loud. Yeah, if you're ever not sure if it's something you should actually answer, just discuss it. Hide first. It's no worries. Generally trust the overall will of chat. It's a pain in the butt to keep up with every streamer's spoiler policy, I know. Okay, so we'll use this save point as a base here. I'll probably end up coming back here in a second. Where else are we gonna go here? Oh, it's a place for me to deposit. Well, not really. Okay, I understand. It's just that you can put things into any container and maybe come back and recover them later. This is a direct question, you can go ahead and answer it. Are there maps that are permanently closed off from the player, you can never return to them? Because it seemed like I could go back to the theater and maybe go back and look for items that I missed. But I'm wondering if I put something in a box right now, is it gone forever? Is it possible I won't be able to return to the zoo? Return anywhere you want. Okay, that's cool. Go the way that's not firm straight. Sure. Yeah, that's pretty standard for endgame. And obviously there's certain plot segments where I'm guessing you're not able to back out while they're in progress, but it's not a kind of game that will completely unload the zoo and I can never come back to Central Park ever again. Hey, another tool. Nice. And I'm actually going to backtrack and save here because we're about at time. Power walking. It's interesting that battles are random, but not every screen has random battles built in, and it's probably based on the room that you have on the screen, maybe? It's still a great game right now. I like it. It's aged very well, I think. especially for a PS1 game. A lot of PS1 games have a problem. I think ones with pre-rendered backgrounds have an advantage there. No, it's okay. I'm a crown. Thanks. That was just speculation. Thank you for asking. Cool. That's perfectly at time. So I'll let you guys know what's coming up next. Won't be for a little while.